welcome or welcome back. This is Talk Your Shit with Deja, where we drop down because not only can I talk my shit, but I want you to talk your shit too. Hey y'all. So y'all, it is week 12, and like I told y'all last week, this week we're going to be going over apology languages because obviously that's a thing that I didn't even know about, and I actually had to, go through the quiz. Low key, I went through the quiz before I did it because I kind of just wanted to know what was the different type of apology languages. But I'm gonna go through it again with you all, just to go through some of the questions to give you an idea, and I'm gonna put in that the what is it called, y'all? The website. I'm gonna put in the website, in the video and everything, so you all can definitely go take your apology language quiz because there's a certain way that we like to be apologized to. Ain't that something, right? It's not enough for you to just tell me sorry. You may have to do some other shit to make me feel better about you apologizing. Mm. What better way to teach somebody how to treat you than to tell them not only how you like to be loved, but how you like to be apologized to? You know, we are in the year of learning about oneself. And because I learned that it's an apology language, baby, we gonna learn about that one too. And then I may take this week or maybe the next week as well. Not completely sure. We'll see how long this video or this podcast is, and then we'll determine if this needs another episode. Because I definitely like staying below that 1 hour mark. It makes it feel like a TV show kind of. So we're gonna see where we're at by the end of the video, and then if we still need more time, we'll definitely give it a part 2 and keep it going. But I do want to just take this first episode to go through the quiz, go through the questions again to give you all an idea of what it's even asking, and let you know. I want to let y'all into my life. It's not enough for me to just put information out there if I'm not telling y'all what I'm going through and how I correlate with this information. It ain't gonna help. Then I just speak on everybody else shit and never want to talk about my own shit. So we're definitely gonna go through this quiz. I'm gonna let y'all know what I got on the quiz, how I like to be apologized to, and then y'all definitely go take the quiz. And yeah, so we're gonna get started because I don't want it to be super long because I know the quizzes can kind of be drawn out a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and get it started. Apology quiz started. So it says, what's your apology language? Just as our preferred love languages differ, each one of us has a preferred apology language that may differ from the people we love. This quiz will help you learn your primary apology language so that you can better understand how to heal hurt in your relationships. When you are finished, you may print, share, or save your results for future reference. Because like we mentioned on the last quiz, they don't save it, and you may want to save this now. Personally, with me taking the quiz because I wanted to just go through it, my apology language hasn't changed. I have liked to be apologized in a certain way for the longest of time, so I don't necessarily know if that means that maybe that's just for me that it may never change. Because with the love language quiz, I definitely want you all to keep that thing updated because we like to be loved in many different ways, and throughout our life it's gonna shift. So maybe we want gifts one phase of our life, maybe we want the quality time, but that's why you keep that updated. But as far as this apology language thing, because I'm just kind of like realizing what this is and everything, I don't know if that shifts. So, but from like what I knew previously before taking this test and then taking the test and getting the answer, I already knew what my apology language is. They just kind of put a name on it. So I don't think it has changed. But I may, maybe this time next year, I'll retake the quiz for y'all. So maybe if it did update, we'll know if you kind of need to keep this one updated. But as I showed y'all before, love languages, you definitely got to keep that one updated because there's always changing. So yeah, let's get started. So The first question is, it's more meaningful to me when I hear someone say, I deeply regret having embarrassed you like I did, or our friendship is really important to me. Will you please forgive me? Um, I deeply regret having embarrassed you like I did. Our friendship is really important to me. Probably the friendship is really important to me. I don't really care about I don't necessarily know if I've ever felt embarrassed by anything anybody has ever done really. Um so I'll say the friendship one. If you tell me how important I am in your life, that definitely would make me be like, okay, let's figure out how to get this back on track than just, oh, I deeply regret embarrassing you. Like, did you really embarrass me though? Like, what do you mean? So I'm gonna choose the second one. The next one is, it's more meaningful to me when someone says, okay, I admit it, I made a big mistake, or I want to grow from this experience. Would you be willing to help me figure out steps to handle this type of situation better? Probably the second one. Um, it's okay to admit your wrongs. Accountability is, always the best thing. But it's not enough for you to just say you did something wrong. Like, I need to know how we're going to not do the same shit that you did previously. I need to know that we're going to have steps to move forward so that we can minimize this problem coming back up. So I'll choose option number 2 for that reasoning. Um, Next question. It's more meaningful to me when someone tells me, what can I do or say to make things right between you and me? Or, I had a bad attitude and it showed. I should have thought more about what I was doing. Again, accountability is fine, but, let's figure out a plan to how we not gonna have this problem again. Like, don't tell me that you did something wrong. I know you did something wrong. But now, like we both know, everybody knows, the world knows you did something wrong. But like, how can we make sure that this doesn't keep happening? So I'm gonna go with the first one because it's basically us trying to figure out how can we minimize the problem keep coming up. So, and I'm more so choosing the first one too because of what can I do, not necessarily the what can I say. I don't need you to say shit. I just need you to do something different. I don't need you to keep doing the same thing. And because I'm not really, words of affirmation was 17% and it tied. It definitely wasn't at the top, so I don't need all them words, but I need actions. Quality time is in my top, so it makes sense why I need actions to be done and not just words to be said. So that's why I'm choosing the first one. So next one is, it's more meaningful to me when someone says, I don't want to do this again, so I will come up with ways to avoid mistakes like this in the future. Or, I apologize for my actions. You obviously don't have to forgive me, but I hope you will. So y'all should know. It's kind of like the love languages quiz. Y'all should know where I'm going with this. Like, if you haven't caught on, I hope you know where I'm going with this. It's gonna be the first one. Like, I don't want the shit to repeat, because that means that you're gonna be apologizing for forever and it don't seem like shit getting done. I don't want the apologies. I want shit to change, and I'm sure that other people will want shit to change. Like, I'm sure that whatever my answer is gonna be, well, whatever my top apology language is gonna be, is probably a lot of people's apology language. But for those words of affirmation people, it might be something different. Or, we'll see. But I'm gonna go with the first one because I need you to do something different. I don't need you to say shit. I really don't. Like, if I never got a sorry ever again in my life, I'd be okay. As long as you're following that bitch up with actions. Like, do something different. I tell you something's wrong with me. I tell you you crossed the boundary. I told you that you did something that didn't sit well with me. I don't need no sorry, big dog. I need you to do something different. I really do. Because I don't want to. I've always been the type of person to where I don't like to repeat myself. So I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Because after a while, I'm just going to be over it. And I'm not gonna care anymore. So it's like, just do something different, please. So I'm gonna choose the first one. Next, it's more meaningful to me when someone asks me, can you possibly forgive me? Or what can I do to mend our relationship? Probably the second one. And I ain't even gonna go into it, but you know why. Probably the second one. Um, the next one is, it's more meaningful to me when I hear someone say, I totally messed up. I could make excuses, but really I have no good excuse for my actions. And then the second one is, you have every right to hold this against me, but will you please consider forgiving me? Um, I'd probably say, I think when I was going through this quiz and I came to this question, I went with the first one. And the reason why I went with the first one is because not only did they take accountability for their, well, shit, I mean, they did take accountability for it. For the second one, I feel like they took accountability, but they kind of placed it on you to make things right. Like, can you please forgive me? Like, no. No, I'm just kidding. But I just feel like something about that second one just comes, it rubs me the wrong way. Like, versus the first one with that sole accountability. And then the not making excuses, because a lot of people will make excuses for why they do stuff. Like, you know, the one they like to say that women throw out a lot is, I am who I am, accept me as who I am, and da 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 da. Yeah. they like they like to give out a lot of excuses, but not just women. I think men give out a lot of excuses. A lot of people give out a lot of excuses when they do shit they ain't got no business, period. And instead of you just listening to what happened to that person, taking that into consideration, because that's honestly, personally, I think that's when you find out if people really care about you or not, is if you tell them something wrong and they try to justify why they did what they did. Like, I wonder if they really care about you or not. Me personally, I definitely wonder that. If I tell you that you crossed the boundary or I felt some type of way, instead of you trying to be like, oh well, da 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 da. No, listen to what I'm saying, because I'm sure if the shoe was on the other foot, you would not want me to try and justify why I'm doing such a thing. You would want me to understand where you're coming from, why you felt some type of way, and for me to work on my actions. So that's all I want back in return. So I'm going to go with the first one, is because not only did you acknowledge that you did something wrong, but you're not trying to make excuses for doing something wrong. Like, you're not saying that's just who I am and I'm molded in this way and I'm not going to change and I just had a bad day, or I don't give a damn. You hurt me and I'm just letting you know that. Change actions type stuff, like, you know, like so it's, I'm gonna go with the first one. It's more meaningful to me when someone asks me, I'd like to make things better between us, what can I do to make things right? Or, you don't have to answer immediately, but will you consider forgiving me for making this mistake? And again, it kind of is the same thing like previously. It feels weird with the can you forgive me type thing. It's basically something like, it's gonna make my conscience feel better if you forgive me. Like, what does forgiving do if you could possibly make the same mistake over again? Nothing. So something about that just saying can you forgive me thing just doesn't sit well with me. So I'm gonna go with the first one. um the next question is, it's more meaningful to me when I hear these words from someone. I want to ask you to forgive me, or it deeply pains me to see you hurting like this. Y'all should know now. Y'all, I'm so repetitive. I'm so the same. Nothing really changes. I'm not sporadic or anything. Like, everything's kind of consistent. So you know where I'm going with this. The first one don't make sense to me. Again, why do you need me to forgive you so bad? What is on your conscience that you can't sit with me not forgiving you? Something feels weird about that. but it deeply pains me to see you hurting like this. Well, shit, yeah, it should pain you. Because it pained me when I was hurting. So I would hope you feel pain. You know, that's how you know how people, like, that people care about you, is if they felt hurt by them hurting you. Like, that's really genuinely a great way to know if people care about you or not. Because if they don't give a damn about how you feel when you're hurt in the situation, that's not really people that should be in your life. But if somebody hurt you by something, then they really felt bad for doing whatever they did, you know? So I'm going to go with the second one. It's more meaningful to me when someone says, I've really messed up this time. We missed the deadline because of me. Or, can we back up and let me try to fix this? I really want to mend the damage I've caused. Second one, I feel like the first one's kind of related to like, maybe like a job or something like that. Again, just the accountability alone does nothing. And I think, honestly, that's where like a lot of people, when they talk about accountability, they get on my nerves. They make it seem like, oh my gosh, if I take responsibility for my actions, I'm gonna be so changed. Like, no, bitch. When you take responsibilities for your actions, that means nothing to me. I don't give a damn that you took responsibility for your actions. Not only do you need to do that and change your shit, it's not enough just to tell me you knew you were wrong. Because if you gonna turn around and do the same shit, you didn't care that you were wrong. So it's just like, people need to really understand that accountability is not enough if the behavior is not gonna change. But if you want to know more about that, go look at my accountability episode, plug, or go listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts to the accountability episode. But for real, what does it mean to me that you taking accountability if you're not gonna do anything different? So you just gonna know you wrong all your life? I don't got time for that. Like, no. But if you're gonna do something different, A-okay with me. So second one is what I'm choosing. Next, it's more meaningful to me when I hear someone say, I am upset with myself over how I handled our disagreement. I cringe when I recall the way I acted. Or, I know that what I've been doing is not helpful. What would you like to see me change that would make this better for you? Second one. Second one. Okay. It's more meaningful to me when someone tells me, I know that what I did was wrong, or I'm so sorry, I feel terrible that I let you down. I personally don't know. I don't know which one I chose. I know that what I did was wrong. I'm so sorry, I feel terrible that I let you down. Um, Probably the second one, because it kind of correlates with what I was saying about they feel bad that they did something to you. Like, they feel bad that you were impacted by whatever happened. You know? Something about them being empathetic, in a sense, a little bit. Like, they can be in your shoes. Like, they know that they did something wrong because of how they seen you react to it, you know? So, I'll go with the second one. It's more meaningful to me when someone asks me what changes could I put into place so that you might begin to trust me going forward, or I hope this won't permanently damage our working relationship. Will you please accept my apology? First one, not even gonna elaborate. It's more meaningful to me when someone says, I can see my actions caused you pain and I feel terrible about what I did. Or, is there anything I can do to repair the damage I've created? That was actually kind of hard because both of them are like what I like. One shows that acknowledgement that you can tell that I was hurt. The second one is that actions thing. So I'm more of an actions girl. Show me, show me what I gotta do. And if you love me, I'll do anything for you. If you know that song, you know. And if you don't know, go figure out what that song is and come back and tell me, because why don't you know? I am a little old. I'm very soulful. But if you know that song, you're here, right? You're right here with me. But yes, show me. Um Next is, it's more meaningful to me when someone tells me if I had only thought about what I was doing, I would have realized it was wrong. Or, I know that I've caused you a significant amount of trouble. I would greatly appreciate it if you would forgive me. If only thought about what I was doing, I would have realized it was wrong. So that means you was just doing shit and you didn't know? I mean, we all do just be doing shit, honestly. I guess that can come with, how you were raised. You may not know that what you're doing could possibly affect somebody, or how your characteristics are set up. So, I'll probably go with the first one just because, like they said, if I would have realized that I was doing something wrong, I would have changed it. So if you're maybe that anxiously attached person and you didn't say anything, and if you want to know about those people, go watch the attachment style video. Plug. Now, y'all don't mind me. I'm so silly, but but yeah. So say you're like that anxiously attached person, and maybe you didn't share with them that something was wrong, but you finally do, and then they're like, "Dang, if I would have known that that was bothering you, I would have been changed." I like that. So y'all anxious attached people, start opening up your mouth so these people can help you. Because we don't want you to be going through this stuff by yourself. Trust me. I damn sure don't want y'all to be going through this. That shit is hard. I know. It is hard as hell. So, yes, open up. And again, if you have those people around you that love and care about you, they're definitely going to make sure you're okay. And they're going to change their behavior because they love and they care about you. So, open up. And so, we're going to go with the first one. Next one is, it's more meaningful to me when I hear someone say, I am truly grieved and sorry for my actions, plus the ways that they've affected you. And then, if I am ever again upset with you, I promise to gather my thoughts and approach you directly and respectfully. Um, Probably the second one. Tell me when something, like, honestly, just like I'm working on opening up to other people, letting them know when something's wrong with me that's pertaining to them. I would want somebody to do me the same way. Like, let me know when I'm being too much and I'll, like, work on my behavior. I definitely don't want to just be like, oh, I am who I am. I'm growing. Now, when I was younger, in my younger years, I'm still young, y'all. Don't do me. But when I was like back in the day, in relationships and stuff, I would definitely be like, "Oh, I am who I am. Like, deal with it." But that's not the way that you should be operating. That's not the way that's gonna get you anywhere. So definitely work on you. And when somebody tells you something, if it's something that you can work on daily so that you have a better connection with other people, do it, especially if you care about that person and you don't want them to go anywhere. Once they come to you, let you know that something's wrong, do your best to try and reshape some things and present that to them. Of course, it's hard. We really suck at change a little bit. Like, it's really hard to get out of our comfort zones, but practice makes perfect. So you may not get it right every day, you may not get it right majority of the days, but effort to me is like everything. I want to see that you're trying to be a better person. So definitely come to me, tell me the problem so we can have a conversation about it and get on a better page. So the second one. Next is, it's more meaningful to me when someone says, I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. or I simply should not have done that. Second one, like, what is up with that asking for forgiveness thing? Like, something feels off about that. Is it only me? Y'all, let me know. Am I tripping? Like, does it, when somebody says, can you forgive me, does that not seem off? Like, why do you need that so bad? Unless there was, could it be because they're words of affirmation, people, y'all? Maybe? Maybe that's why they need to hear the forgiveness part. Because, okay, if your words of affirmation, or say you're somebody that needs to hear, you know, I forgive you type of thing, that may make sense. But if you're not a words of affirmation person, why the hell are you asking for forgiveness? Like, why is that just gonna make you feel oh so better? Something's about that. I don't know. It's so weird to me. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but y'all let me know. Am I the only one? Or does it seem weird when somebody just always asking for forgiveness? Like, are you doing something different? Like, that's what my mind go. Like, did you do something different? Like, are you asking for forgiveness for the same thing that you keep doing over and over and over again? Like, I don't know. So I'm gonna go with number 2. I simply should not have done that. Period. And you shouldn't. And you better not do it again. Period. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, okay. Next. It's more meaningful to me when I hear someone say, I realize that talk is cheap. I'll work to show you that I'm changing. Or, is there anything I can do to make up for what I did? Ooh. Um, so both of them are kind of doing something. Um, I'll probably say the first one just because if is there anything I could do for what I did, it could be kind of encompassing a lot of things. Like maybe it's okay, you can do like acts of service, or maybe you can do quality time, or maybe you can do, and it's like that just seems like a band-aid over the problem to me when I think of like what that question kind of encompasses, you know? It just seems like you could use anything to make that better versus the changing. Change. And then it'll be better. I mean, you definitely can do all the other love languages to show that you're sorry. But none of that means anything without the change. Again, it's a band-aid. It's not the actual healing. So I don't want the band-aid. I need the scar to heal. I don't just want it to be covered up. Thanks. So I'll go with the first one. Next is more meaningful to me when someone tells me I really am embarrassed about my behavior and I'm so so sorry. Or no ifs, ands, or buts. I admit that I was wrong. Probably the second one. Um, yeah, probably the second one. No excuses. I like that one. No excuses. So yeah, the second one. Next one is it's more meaningful to me when I hear someone say, I apologize, will you forgive me? Or going forward, I will manage my time and prioritize my schedule so that I won't have the same difficulties. Actions speaks louder than words. So, second one. Um, it's more meaningful to me when someone says, I want so badly to avoid this type of error again. Let's talk about what I can do in the future to follow through on my commitments. Or, I don't feel right just saying my bad. I want to make up for what I've done. What would you consider appropriate? Changing your behavior? Damn. No. Yeah. Oh, I don't know why I just said it. It seemed like I was really talking to somebody. Change your behavior. Um, Um, I think when I went through this, I think I chose the first one honestly because the second one seemed like I had to come up with how you can change your behavior, not necessarily you coming up with how you can change your behavior, but the first one rather is us kind of working together to figure out how to change your behavior. So it's like a team effort and not like with the second one it just seems like a me effort, and why should I be doing something for your fuck up? Like that just don't seem right. I mean, I definitely can help you, but that's help which means that you got to be a part of that. So the second one doesn't seem like they're a part of that, so I'm going to go with the first one. Next is, it's more meaningful to me when someone tells me, I know that my actions were totally unacceptable, I own that, or it stresses me out to know that you had to stand there waiting on me. I regret the frustration and worry that I caused you. I think I chose the second one. Because it kind of goes into deep, like, because you kind of are showing me that you understand why the hell I'm stressed out, you know? The fact that I was waiting on you, or, you know, you were, yeah, I just feel like the second one kind of elaborates more versus the first one is just like, I'm wrong, that's it. The second one seems like, I'm wrong, I made you feel this way, let's get on a better page. So I'll go with the second one. It's more meaningful to me when someone says, I know that I've inconvenienced you. What can I do for you that could help balance things out? Or, I am unhappy with how I've hurt you. I'm enormously disappointed in myself. Um, oh, again, it's so weird that it's like, what could I do to help balance things out? Like, why can't you figure that out yourself? Like, why do I have to come up with that? Something about putting the responsibility back on the person that was hurt in the first place just seems inappropriate. Is that just me? Y'all, I don't know if that's it. Maybe the way that I like have my mind set up, it just seems like the onus is putting back on the person who was hurt in the first place. Do y'all kind of get that from these? Let me know in the comments on YouTube. So that means if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, take your ass over to YouTube and let me know. Let me know. Do y'all feel really like that kind of puts the onus back on the person who was hurt in the first place? So maybe I'll go with the second one, because what can I do? Like, what can I do for you that could help balance things out? Like, why am I giving you? Why don't you know what you could do to help balance? Like, or why can't we work on it together? Why am I giving you the answers to the test? Didn't they teach you in school don't cheat? Oh, you was not supposed to get the answers from me. But now we could study together. And yeah, we can study together. I was about to say, and we could low-key take the test together, but that's cheating. No cheating. But we can study together. But I just feel like the first one, it just seems like I would have to be coming up with the idea, and you hurt me. I gotta put in work for you hurting me. That don't make no sense. So, second one. It's more meaningful to me when I hear these words from someone. What can I do to make this situation right for you immediately? Or, it may take some time to rebuild your trust in me. Meanwhile, I'll be working hard on changes to prove that I am trustworthy. Second one, because I feel like the first one is just how I explain it. It's like putting that onus back on the person that was hurt. Because why am I coming up with anything for you to do no, it's either a team effort or you figure it out because you hurt me. Not me figure it out and tell you. Like, no, we can work together though. Big teamwork. I'm a big team player. But I'm not finna do all the work and you hurt me. No. So we'll go with the second one. It's more meaningful to me when someone says, I am so sorry about that. I feel truly awful about having disappointed you. Or saying, I'm sorry doesn't feel like it is enough. What more can I say or do to make this up to you? I don't know. Y'all, and I feel like even earlier with the questions, I probably was choosing some of the ones of like, what can I do to make it up to you? But now, like, just thinking about it, just feels like I'm responsible for your fuck ups. Granted, okay, let's spin this. Let's not make it so negative. Okay, let's spin this so that we can have a better idea of this. Maybe it's okay. I'm teaching you how to treat me. Maybe that's what that is. Instead of me thinking, okay, I got to take the responsibility for you fucking up. No, maybe it's me like teaching you how to treat me. So instead of you doing this, let's do this instead. Okay, yes, that's how we go spin it, y'all. Cause I gotta choose something and I don't want to feel bad for my else. So we gonna spin that thing around. But so yeah, we'll say that when they're asking what more can I do or make up like to make this up to you, we're gonna say that with doing that, we're gonna be teaching you how to treat us so that we can move forward like and have better outcomes. Yeah. So no more taking the onus. It's us teaching people how to treat us. Bam, y'all. I can spin anything. Hey, there's a positive to everything if you want to find it. So so we'll go with the second one. Um the next one is it's more meaningful to me. Uh okay. Actually, just kidding because my computer had froze up a little bit and skipped all the way to the to the results because it was the last question. So I don't necessarily know what the last question was, but it's okay. When y'all take the quiz, y'all will know the last question. But needless to say, one question does not change the whole thing. But I'm gonna go over my results with you all. So I'm gonna tell you the 5 different apology languages that they have on here. The first one is plan change. The second one is make restitution. The third one is accept responsibility or accountability. Y'all know. The fourth one is expressing regret. And the fifth one is request forgiveness. So my top one is plan change, which y'all should know because show me something different or we can't talk. No, I mean we can talk, but I'm gonna get annoyed. So I'm gonna match what you giving out. So if you don't change your behavior, I'm probably gonna start giving you bitch, and then you're gonna be over me, and then we're gonna be over each other. So then we're gonna end up separating anyways. So you tell me what you want to do. Because I'm the type of person where I don't really like leaving out of people's life. Could be abandonment things. I don't like leaving out of people's lives. But I will match energies. So if you hurt me and never do anything to change that you keep hurting me, I'll stay there. But I'm going to give you that same raggedy ass attitude back. But probably these days I probably don't stay. I don't even come into contact with people these days, low key. But I probably won't stay moving forward. But previously, yeah, I'll stay there and match energies. Like that's really what I did, and I think that is toxic. So don't judge me, y'all. I'm growing and becoming a new person. So maybe that was toxic. So we're probably not gonna do that anymore moving forward because it sounds toxic when I'm saying it to you. It sounds very toxic. Just stay there and match energies instead of like moving on to the next person. But yeah, plan change is 36%. So I care about it a lot. Do it. Thanks. Make restitution is 24%. Um the the accept responsibility is 20%, which actually makes sense. You know that it's up there. Expressing regret is 16%, and request forgiveness is 4%. Y'all probably can understand that forgiveness thing. I'm kind of like, why? Why do you need to hear that you're forgiven? Or why do you even care about the forgiven part? Like, honestly, for me, I feel like when I forgive people, I just show it in my actions. So I continue to give that love, that quality time, that physical touch, that, gifts and all that other stuff. So you would know that I've forgiven you out other than just saying that. Now, of course, if you're somebody who needs to hear that you're sorry, like that I forgive you rather, then I'll say it so that you know that I've forgiven you. But I'm going to show it rather than say it. So just know that if you're somebody that deals with me, or if you're somebody that deals with somebody who thinks like me, you have to communicate that you need to hear that they're forgiven, or that you're forgiven rather, because they're not going to know to say, oh yeah, I forgive you. They're going to be moving how they move. So it's just like, if you need to hear that you're forgiven, if you're that type of person, make sure you're communicating that, because somebody like me is not going to tell you, like, I'm not going to tell you you're forgiven. But now I'll show you, I'll continue to pour into you, love on you, and all this other stuff, but I'm not going to say it. So yeah, that's my breakdowns, y'all. And I'm actually probably gonna go a little bit more in depth next week, because we are kind of like getting to like a lengthy video, just on some of these things, because I'm pretty sure you're like, what's make restitution? So it's like, I'll probably explain more next week and kind of go through each one's, and probably take it a little deeper, and how you can actually go about these things. I feel like in the plan change, how you can go about these things was pretty much in the quiz, is work with the person to actually figure out how to do things. But we can kind of elaborate on that as well. But definitely go through to make restitution. I don't necessarily know if we need to really elaborate on accept responsibility, especially because we had a whole accountability episode. So if you want to know about accountability, take your ass to the episode and go listen or go watch. But expressing regret, we can kind of go through that. Request forgiveness. Okay, actually no, y'all, I'm not gonna drag this out longer than it needs to be, because we still got maybe 8 minutes or so to kind of explain some of this stuff, because I feel like some of it is explanatory, but we could definitely go through the make restitution one. So it says, in our society, many people believe that wrong acts demand justice. The one who commits the crime should pay for their wrongdoing. A mate who speaks this love language feels the same way towards apologies. They believe that in order to be sincere, the person who is apologizing should justify their actions. Don't justify your actions, actually. The mate who's been hurt simply wants to hear that their mate still loves them. There are many effective ways to demonstrate sincerity in an apology. Each mate must learn the other's love language in order to complete the act of restitution. Though some mates may feel as though all is forgiven with a bouquet of flowers, that may not necessarily work for all mates. Every mate should uncover that what their partner's main love language is, in order to make restitution in the most effective way. For a mate whose primary apology language is making restitutions, no matter how often you say I'm sorry or I was wrong, your mate will never find the apology sincere. You must show strong efforts for making amends. A genuine apology will be accompanied by the assurance that you still love your mate and have a desire to right the wrongdoings. Oh, okay, so it's just like being a better person. Like, basically, like how I explained with the, like, what can I do to do this? But I was like, you would be able to do that in maybe quality time, or, acts of service and stuff like that. So I guess that's kind of how it's explaining it, is that, like, they would be able to right their wrongs by pouring into you, showing you how they love you in the way that you want to be loved. The only thing I disagree with the justify. Don't justify your actions. I don't give a damn about your actions. I don't need justification. Like, if something if something was wrong with me and I'm telling you what's wrong with me, in that moment, I don't need justification of your actions. Now, once you've apologized and working towards doing something different, then we can have a conversation like, okay, I know that I kind of made you upset, but the reason why that happened is because I never really learned that was wrong, or I never really understood. But in that moment, I don't really need you to justify shit. I really don't. I need you to just understand and say, okay, what can I do so that things could be better? Like, or not what can I do, because Well, no. They can say that because what we said, we're shifting the thought process. They can say that, or they can say, okay, how can we work together so that doesn't happen moving forward? I like that one better, but we done shifted the mindset, so you can say the other one too. But yeah, so that's kind of the make restitution, and then plan change. Do something different. We go plan it like what can we do so that this is going. Even with plan change, y'all, I honestly think that's something you could do with your partner. Like at the end of the week, if you notice that something has come up with your partner, and maybe you do like at the end of the week you evaluate each week, like what was the pros, what were the cons, and kind of go up with how to set up ways to kind of get through the cons, you know, figure out ways to keep the pros going, you know, things like that. I feel like plan change doesn't necessarily have to happen in the moment. We don't necessarily have to talk about how you can fix it after you fucked me over, but maybe we can plan a day of the week that every week we come together and we kind of evaluate what was the goods, what was the bads, how can we work together so that we can minimize the bads and get more of the goods, you know, doing stuff like that. So like the plan change doesn't necessarily have to come as soon as you make me upset. Honestly, I don't even think I would be thinking like that, just because, you know, as like once we get upset, logic is not the first thing that's coming to our minds. And honestly, the quickest way to get us out of our emotions just to agree, and let's just agree, say you understand how I feel. We might can have a little dialogue here and there, but in the moment when you're feeling some type of way, I don't even think your person, and that's male or female, I don't think they're going to be ready to come up with a whole game plan of how we're going to make this shit better. But if you are, say you're in a relationship or even a friendship or whatever the case may be, set up a time frame to where maybe every Sunday, you know, right before bed, we kind of come together and evaluate our week. Like, hey, babe, you know, this is what we did good, but this is, you know, when you did that thing Monday, that shit kind of bothered me. And, you know, I do want to avoid not getting bothered by those things. So, is there a way that we can work together to come up with different ways for us to get better? You know, things like that. Because I think in that moment, a lot of people really just want to be understood and empathized with, and not really trying to go ahead of the game. So if you kind of set up with your person or or family or friends that, hey, we're gonna have this day where we're just gonna go over the goods and bads and, you know, get a game plan and everything, because that would be beneficial. Accept responsibility, accountability. Yes, it helps for people to take accountability. Like, I need you to know that you did something wrong. I really do. Because I don't even think you could get to plan changed if you don't know that you did something wrong. So I need you to be accountable first, but you can't stop there. You definitely we gotta work together to do something different. I don't need you to just be like, yeah, I was wrong, but then turn around and do the same shit. So what, you just gonna be wrong all your life, like I said previously? No, we're not gonna be wrong all our lives. Like, we're gonna be like, yeah, I was wrong, so now how can we figure out how to move forward? Because accountability means nothing without actions. Tip. Um, Next is expressing regret. Like, you can tell me you're sorry. You can tell me you're sorry all day. I honestly, I think that was more so like a 16% just for the sake of like picking a thing. But I don't really care about that. I mean, okay, I'm lying. I do care. I want you to care that you did something wrong to me. But again, that's only part of it. Honestly, I think all of these, just like love languages, all of them go together. Now, you take the quiz so you know how much to give to your partner, but really all of these go together. But you just need to know which ones mean the most to your partner. Just like with love languages, you need to give all of those to your partner, but you need to know which one means the most to them so that you lead with that and not lead with something else that they don't give a damn about. So if somebody was just to only be like, hey, I'm sorry for hurting you. You talking to me? Like, don't just end it right there. I would like for you could probably lead with the I'm sorry, but I need you to come in. I need the final the finale to be change. Change. Don't just tell me you're sorry if you're not going to change. Please change. Because then we're going to be going through the same thing over and over again. And I'm not a broken record. I'm not a tape recorder. I'm not even this iPhone where I want to keep playing back the same shit that I done already said. Change. So, yes, you can definitely do all four. But if change is not in there, we got a problem. Because that's number one. It need to be in there. And then the request forgiveness, y'all, I don't really give a damn. Don't request for my forgiveness unless you need it. To y'all words of affirmation people, if you need to hear that you're forgiven, tell me. Because I ain't going to say shit about you being forgiven. Like, I don't really give a damn about saying that you're forgiven. But if you need it, say it. So, yeah. And that's how we're going to end that off. So, we're not even going to drag this out. I don't even want to drag it out. Like, one and done, big dog. But so that's where we're gonna end that. But it was cool to kind of figure out that there's apology languages. I really didn't know that. So going through this quiz and figuring out, you know, what an apology really consists of was kind of cool. I think I already knew that I was a plan change. I used to tell my text. I used to tell my ex all the time, like, don't just say you're sorry if you're gonna turn around and do the same shit. Would you just go be apologizing for the rest of your life? It don't mean shit to me if you're going to turn around and do the same shit. And I would tell that to anybody, honestly. If you're going to turn around and do the same shit, don't apologize. Because then I feel like you played in my face. Then I feel like you lied to me. Then I feel like you wasn't sorry. Because now you still doing the same shit. So it's like, yeah, you can apologize. But then we need to sit together and figure out how to do something different. Because I don't want to just hear the same shit over and over again. Just like I don't like to be a recorder, I don't want to hear the same shit over and over again. Like it's not where I'm at in life anymore. I'm more about actions and how can we do something different. I'm more about evolving, growing, changing, all those good words, you know, growing like a tree out of the ground. I don't know, but I don't want to hear anything. But I don't judge anybody that needs to hear it. I know that words of affirmation people, you need words. I really understand that you need words. So if you need to hear I'm sorry, or if you need to hear that you're forgiven, communicate that. Because I'm sure a lot of people probably don't even think to say the forgiven thing. I think a lot of people automatically think to say I'm sorry, but a lot of people don't think to say I'm forgiven. And I think that could be an affirmative phrase. So communicate that you may need that. But that is gonna be week 12, y'all. It kind of went by smoothly or whatever. Next week, I don't even know what we're gonna talk about next week because I really thought I was gonna drag it out, but I didn't. So we're gonna come up with a topic for next week, so that we can keep it going. But yeah, I don't know what that's gonna be, so we'll surprise you. But yeah, this is Talk Your Shit with Deja, where we drop the I, because not only can I talk my shit, but I want you to talk your shit too. Until next time, no, I'm just kidding. Oh wait, I'm an influencer, right? So like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and then go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and listen. Add me to your playlist or however that works. Or you can follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Tune in. It's all Talk Your Shit. One name. Don't forget it. I talk my shit, you talk your shit too. So I will see y'all, or I will communicate with y'all. I don't even know how to say that. I will be back here next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Check me out, y'all. Bye.